I'm Eddie's sister-in-law, his wife Betty's sister. These are some of my memories of Eddie. Eddie was born in Pleasant Valley in 1922. Betty was born in Poughkeepsie in 1925. Betty with her mother. Betty alone on the porch. Betty with her father. Betty moved to Pleasant Valley with her parents in about 1939, and I was born in 1940. Betty with me. We're having a picnic. I remember Eddie as tall and nice. While I was in Pleasant Valley, I met and talked with Bob Albrecht, who knew Eddie when they were young and remembered Eddie as being strong.
He was a very strong man, and he was very gifted. He was very much a naturalist, and he was a very strong man.
Here's Eddie in his Boy Scout uniform when he was a teenager. This is Betty in the fields at Billmar Nursery in Pleasant Valley. This is Betty as a Girl Scout. This is her high school senior picture. This is the First Presbyterian Church in Pleasant Valley where they were married. This is the wedding picture with Betty's cousin Irva and the best man, Merlin Tice. Here are a few pictures of Betty and Eddie together. Betty and Eddie didn't have much time together. Soon after their wedding, Eddie returned to the Air Force. He went overseas April 1944, only 4 months after their wedding. This is a Valentine card that Betty sent to him. This is a Mother's Day card he sent to my mother. He was the pilot of a P-47 Thunderbolt fighter plane. He was an escort to bomber formations, and he and his squadron, the Black Scorpion Squadron, did light bombing and strafing. These are pictures of his plane. His plane was named Betty in honor of his wife. September 4th, 1944, on his 99th mission, he was shot down by a German fighter plane. At that time, he was listed as missing in action. A gravestone was placed in the St. Paul's Episcopal Cemetery, Pleasant Valley, listing his death as September 1944. June 27th, 1945, he was declared killed in action. Betty received this touching letter from his commanding officer. According to this letter, he was buried with full military honors and interred in a U.S. military cemetery in northern Italy. During 1948, after Betty's death, his body was brought back and buried in St. Paul's Cemetery, and another stone was placed. After the death of my sister Betty's husband during the war, she came back home to live with us at Billmar Nursery in Pleasant Valley. She met Sanford Bush, one of the men who worked for my father. Sanford had been in the Marine Corps and fought in the South Pacific during the war. This is a picture of them taken along the road near High Falls, New York. That is where they lived after they were married. July 16th, 1947, she had a baby boy. That night she died at St. Francis Hospital in Poughkeepsie. I was only 7, so all I was ever told was that she died in childbirth. She was buried in the Presbyterian Cemetery in Pleasant Valley. During spring 2024, Gaia and her parents came to New York to meet me and some of my family and see where Eddie and Betty had lived. They brought a red, white, and green bouquet from Italy for Eddie's grave.
I'll always wait for your return out of moon.